You are now tuned in to Coming to Conclusions, and I am your host, Dreyah Karter. And today I have John with me.
Hi.
Hi. So I heard that you are actually a true fan.
I am. I subscribed to you guys' channel a couple months ago, actually. Said I saw him on Facebook. I saw you, and I heard a comment about how many bodies you had.
Oh,
and
that
I was,
clip.
so I was like, I hit him up. I was like, bro, how many she had for real? It was like, nah, you got to watch it. And I said, you know what? That's the least I can do to support, the homie, as well as find the answer out. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I looked through the comments because there was so many comments on those videos. And the numbers was outrageous of what people really thought my number was.
But you know what? That outrageousness to them isn't outrageous.
I know, because that's kind of...
us.
To us it is.
Maybe, for sure.
But to them, it was that was just normal. Man. I'm like, no, why would you even think that? So I be horny, I fuck a lot, but I'm selective with who I fuck. So just because I fuck a lot doesn't mean I fuck a lot.
And I get that.
Yeah. And that's what I think most people don't understand, because I can sit here and say I'm horny all day, and then they'll try to, oh, well, she's horny, she's gonna fuck anything. Nah, I'm not a nigga. I'm not. Be very selective with what I choose and who I choose to do it with.
And that stigma holds true for a reason, because in my past, very, very questionable decisions of who.
So you would just fuck an ugly chick just because you was horny?
Man, you have no idea, man.
Mud ducks here?
I'm talking about the bottom of the barrel. Matter of fact, one time I was in Atlanta. It was many, many moons ago, and this older chick had one titty.
What? Wait.
She had one titty, and she was a user of cocaine.
Okay.
Of the crack form, and I knew that.
Of the crack form.
I was young. I'm talking about horny out of my mind, and yeah, I was one of those cats. Yeah. I busted crack. I tore her ass up to pieces.
Was it good?
No.
Why was it not good? Was it because she was missing parts here?
That, the ambiance, just the whole vibe.
So wait, where did you fuck her at?
like a band.
Crack house?
A band.
How old were you?
I was still a teenager.
Okay.
I had to be.
As teenagers, we don't 17. Make great decisions.
Horrible decisions. Horrible.
To fuck a crackhead in an abandoned house.
I mean, but
Did you at least get head, or did you just fuck?
Just head.
Okay, well, that's not horrible.
It was still bad though.
Bad head? She had teeth? Was she
It was just gross. Just kind of looking around ugh. And I kind of just was just grossed out by the situation.
Because of the setting and herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because my horniness drove me to do something that I normally wouldn't do.
So was that a time or a moment that you regret? Or would you just I'll fuck one again?
No, I regret. Yeah. It's weird because you know how they say, live with no regrets. That memory isn't cherished, but it's a memory. It's an experience that I had. It's a part of, the things that I've been through.
So is that what level of experience, if you had to rate that memory?
Oh, that a point.
Because you obviously you remembered it. You came up.
You brought it up.
I'm just saying, I didn't think that you
Listen, I'm not one of those guys that's going to come in here and flex in front. They probably hit a crackhead. They just would never.
Oh yeah, they're never going to say that they did.
They never would tell you about it. And I'm not a phony type. That's term we use.
Okay, so
I'm real. That's probably the worst sexual experience I've ever had was with a crackhead.
So have you fucked anything lesser than a crackhead? I don't know what's lesser, so I can't even tell you what that might be. But whatever is below a crackhead.
I think that was the worst sexual experience I've ever had. And it wasn't necessarily because she, did drugs. It's just the whole thing. The whole thing.
So okay, so if she was a pretty chick.
Whitney Houston smoked crack. You know what I'm saying?
She did, but she had money, so that doesn't count. That just doesn't count. So if she was a pretty chick, would you? And it was in an abandoned area, would you have felt better? No? Oh, it was just pretty or ugly. A crackhead's a crackhead.
Got a big ass roach running around. It's ugh.
That's most people apartments.
Nah, what? What? No.
I feel like everybody that stays in the hood just have roaches running all over the place.
Not. Really? Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely not.
That's just my thought process.
That's more of an environmental thing than dirt. Roaches. You have a good tree outside.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be in the tree.
Oh, they hanging out.
Those are like what, water bugs is what they call them, or something like that.
Depends.
The big ones. I'm talking about like the little tiny ones.
Wretches. Call it whatever.
No matter how you say it, it's not fancy. It's still a roach.
It's still a roach.
So I heard you were locked up before.
Yeah.
So tell me about that, being locked up.
Young, dumb.
Young and dumb, okay.
Trying to make a fast buck. Made bad decisions in Florida, and I got caught for it.
Ooh, Florida.
Yeah.
Was it something crazy?
Well, from the outside looking in, yeah. To me, the way I was running around,
no. Okay. So it was normal for you, crazy for others.
Right.
So what are some like weird things that you've seen like while you were locked up? Sexually, like sexual weird things.
You know what? That's another stigma about prison that's really not true. I never witnessed anybody getting raped or any sexual acts because I was in an open bay dorm and homosexuality where I was at was not smiled upon.
Okay.
At all. It wasn't normal, and I'm not saying that it didn't happen. It just wasn't out there. Something that was.
So was it because
hidden.
of like the time frame you were locked, like the era that you were locked up in? I guess.
Well, I think the camp I was at was mostly older black dudes, and a lot of those older cats, they were doing they were chilling. They weren't wilding out like the younger cats, and we want to do our time and
just
get the fuck on, keep it moving. And a part of that is kind of sitting back, chilling, and involving yourself in gambling, involving yourself in the intimate relationships with other men. Those things bring about problems, and problems bring about consequences and extra time. So a lot of that, like I said, it was not smiled upon at all, and you heard about it, but
you just didn't see it out.
You really didn't see it out. I didn't, and I wasn't looking for it either.
I mean, if you're not looking for it, you probably won't see it.
Like for instance, you had cats, and I heard such and such was in the shower last night with such and such. I know I'm gonna go ahead and use the bathroom, lay down, and try my best not to get up in the middle of the night because it could be going down in the shower.
So if you know about it, you pretty much put yourself in that position to see it, hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's fair because
it is fair. And
other than that, you would mind your business and not really say nothing.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
So do you feel like the people that like know about it or have seen it in jail, is it like, do you think they have some type of fetish of watching it, but don't want to be a part of it?
I would assume so. Okay. I would assume so because I think that's a part of some people's idea of sexuality. I can't participate, but I'll watch it.
So do you feel like watching it is a form of cheating or no?
You talking about in prison or just
in general?
No, absolutely not, because everybody watches porn damn near. I would think.
I would think too. Some people, like I know this one chick, she does not watch it. She feels like it's a form of cheating. She said if you gotta watch porn, then you can't control your sexual urges.
Technically, biblically, it is, because if I'm watching porn, I'm not necessarily thinking about my wife.
Right.
However, sometimes it'll lead to me thinking about her, and I still catch that good one.
Okay, that's fair. So I mean, it's a pro and a con.
Yeah. Both good. I mean, it's a tool. It depends on how you use it.
Okay.
If you wanna look up, a chick spreading peanut butter all over her and letting a dog lick it, that's your thing. That's your thing. It's not my thing.
I would hope not. It sounds like it's a weird thing there.
People are weird.
So okay, so do you have a thing?
No, I am vanilla.
You're Vanilla John.
I am Vanilla John.
You cannot be Vanilla John.
But I'm gonna tell you what. Vanilla in its essence is more valuable than all that.
Oh my God! Here we go. Okay, go ahead.
When you break it down to the essence of it, you're left with vanilla. It's the foundation of all that extra shit you guys like to enjoy. You guys, because I'm gonna put you in a box with the freaks.
I gotta be in a box with the freaks
because you classified yourself as a freaky type of chick. You would rather.
It's my normal now,
and that's fine. I'm
still in a freak box.
It's the spectrum of sexuality that you land in. Mm-hmm. This is your corner, and that's cool. And that's what people have to understand about vanilla and strawberry swirl with the sprinkles. You know what You have to understand that it's a spectrum, and when people land in a certain area of that spectrum, you're not to judge that because that's their thing. That's what they
So
like.
how far down the spectrum have you gone?
Oh. A failed threesome.
What happened? Why did it fail?
Oh my God. That's a whole nother story. I'm going to tell you about that one. Give me a second. Okay. So I think a failed failed threesome is the worst down the rabbit hole I've gone.
Were you able to recover?
No.
It was just complete fail. And
it was a complete fail. Oh my. So, all right. So
yeah, can we get a story time?
Story time. Years ago at work, and this is before my wife. My wife, she knows it, baby. All of these stories are before you.
You gotta give it disclosure.
Oh yeah. But my wife is cool with it. Mm-hmm. She's cool with it. I promise you. This is not gonna freak her out because she know I used to be nasty.
Okay. So you're not nasty no more?
Okay, my nasty is the spectrum of being a whoremonger. Okay. That nasty.
I feel like that's average nowadays.
It is.
Okay.
It really is.
Whoremongers.
So the failed threesome at work, we set it up, got the room, got some alcohol.
Wait. So coworkers?
Yeah.
Okay. Both females. I'm just asking. You're not giving any information.
So yet. I mean and maybe in the times we live in, you have to give a caveat. Mm-hmm. I am not gay.
Okay. So
never have it.
I mean, you can still have a threesome with a guy and a female.
But no. I mean, you can, but it's not. That's not what we're talking about.
Okay, so you got two females, coworkers.
Two females, two coworkers, and one pulled out a pendulum.
Okay.
And started talking to the dead. True fucking story. She started talking to the dead. I don't fucking know, because me and the other chick, we in the bed doing the good one. I feel like I'm trying to get this mood started right, get this show going on, and she's sitting there swinging the pendulum, got a yes and no thing, talking to the dead, and me and her chick looking like, what the fuck?
Little sex magic going on.
It was weird. So we really can't concentrate on, because she's being extremely weird. So I get on the bed. Hey, come on, get over here. Show me how I should eat her out. Trying to, coax the mood to get
her to stop playing with dead people.
Right, because this shit is weird.
Okay.
So she's just like drunk a little bit, because there was alcohol involved, and she's just like, oh, I don't, like, she didn't want to be involved with the chick. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm thinking. Okay, she don't like her. So me and old girl, we still going at it. We done switched positions several times, and
she's still up there swinging her pendulum.
No, now she's just dancing to her own music in her head, because just the TV's playing in the background.
Okay.
And we look up. This girl has literally stuck a brush in her pussy, did a squat and say, look, y'all, and had the brush going up and down from the Kegels that she was doing. So me and
I don't even know how to process that in my head.
It gets worse.
Okay.
So at this point, me and chick, we looking like, bruh, because me and her were cool. We had a camaraderie, like we was cool, but at the same time, we was messing around or whatnot. And old girl came over there and started sucking on her breast, and that turned old girl on a lot, and she came just like that.
Okay.
And when she came, it made me come.
Okay, so it's like a chain reaction.
It was a chain reaction.
Okay.
And old girl, she was just like, okay, I'm ready to go.
That's the one that was
the one that was acting weird.
Okay.
So I'm in the shower like, okay, like shit, mission failed, but shit, I got me. I'm in the shower, old girl coming there that me and her was cool. And she was like, bro, you got to take her home. I'm like, man, I'm not taking her home. She's tripping. She's like, bro, I'm going. She left.
So now you're in the hotel room.
I'm in the hotel with the weird chick. And I'm like, man, I'm not finna do this shit. All right, you ready? I'm gonna take you home.
So you ended up taking her home?
I ended up taking her home.
Was she weird like the next day at work?
I didn't even finish the story.
Oh,
so when I get to the crib, I'm nasty. I'm trying her the whole ride home, and I'm like, well, she ain't gonna give me nothing. She been acting weird this whole time. We got as soon as I opened up the door, she dropped to her knees and ate me up.
What in the world?
And I know I still smell like old girl because I took a bird bath. I didn't really, get in all the cracks and creases, and she ate me.
So it was just the other chick. She was being weird.
Yeah.
So was she being weird to kind of like run the other chick off so she could have you to yourself?
Now that I think about it, that would make sense, but that was just extremely weird situation.
So do you attract weird people at this point?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. Because when I tell you, my wife is one of the most amazing women I've ever met in my life, I mean that. Not only, but me and her have a whole nother love story. I met her in 1999.
That's like a good year, I guess.
Right. We got married in 2019. Met her in 99, but Londa is amazing. She is attractive. She's thick, like I like it. Mm-hmm. She's funny. We like the same music. Our connection is deeper than rap.
So do you feel like everything that you've been through and all of your experiences that brought you to meet your wife was well worth it?
Absolutely.
So how do you
I don't think it could ever have worked out any other way than it did for us to be where we are. And it's not perfect, but I wouldn't want anybody else.
So how do you keep your relationship like spicy with her?
She's vanilla too.
Oh, so it's two vanilla people.
Two vanilla people. I mean, and it's okay with us because we're married and we're comfortable with each other. If I have a special request, she honors it, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. Because I know how to please her. It doesn't take, all of the extra to get to the outcome, and that's what it's about, the outcome.
Just the outcome, not
why am I going to, do the chains and the whips when all I want is this nut? Nothing against if that's what you're into, right? What it takes for you to get to that point. But me, you vanilla, baby. And she knows how to get me there. I know how to get her there. And to me, it's worth it because when you're comfortable in your marriage, mm-hmm. when you're sexually comfortable with your partner, whoever it is, it makes the sex that much better.
So how long did it take you guys to like perfect your sex?
Not saying it's perfect, mm-hmm. because there's always room for improvement. There's always, new things you can do. There's always new things. I think it took us communication to be to the point, because there was times where I would be sexually frustrated, like, "Hey man, you need to, eat the dick a little more, man. You you got a little complacent with not giving me head." And I think a lot of wives do that. Mm-hmm. In my experience, from talking with my circle, that some of the wives, they get real complacent in sex.
Just forget that. Hey, I'm not
gonna say forget. It's just lackadaisical. Mm-hmm. I know when he getting this pussy, he gonna nut. I ain't got to give him head.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Again,
I get it. I've done it. Like, I've been married before, and it got to a point where I didn't want to even fuck him no more.
Really?
Yeah, it became selfish. He became selfish, I should say. So it was more about pleasing him, and then I wasn't being satisfied. So it was just like, fuck it.
And see, for me in our relationship, it's the exact opposite. I get off on seeing her get off.
Really?
Oh my God.
I think it's like a different type of men now, because a lot of men have been saying that, but then it's like, I don't see those actions, sir. Like, it still seems like you're very selfish. It sounds good.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
And it's a part of the game. When I was younger, oh man. I used to, remember the chat line?
Chat lines. It's like forever.
You don't know the chat line?
No, I remember the chat line.
Did you ever participate in the chat line?
Yes.
Okay, so imagine this. Story time.
feel like that's how I came into like the long distance relationship bullshit.
So, chat line. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you look like. You don't know what I look like.
Right.
Close your eyes. This is what you hear. Hey, how you doing? This is John. I'm 6 foot, chocolate. Used to play football, so I got a little weight on me. So you would hear all of these things in your ear, and I'm talking about I smashed a lot of chicks with the
just off of the voice.
Just off of the voice.
I can see how that happens. Yes,
the personality, and once you get to see me, he is big, but
it's the voice,
and that's how that's how I involved myself in the sex game, because when I was younger, chicks would be like, you fat. But I was a big dude.
So you've always been big.
Always been big since I was young. Always been big, and I used to get discriminated against, bullied on because of my weight, and I used to have to compensate for that with compensation. I used to have to education. I had to be, the smart one. I had to be witty, funny.
So you had to mentally stimulate.
I had to mentally stimulate women, but not all the way, because I'm not ugly,
right?
So I had to compensate for the weight, because it's discriminatory.
So like, what's like a misconception of like having sex with a big guy?
That I'm gonna crush you, or my penis is small.
Really?
Yeah, and I used to get off on busting your bubble. That used to be the pride of our interaction.
So like most women would just like, no, I'm not gonna do it because you're just gonna crush me.
No. It's just a preconception that they have, that I thought it was gonna be like this. They confess like, I thought it was gonna be this, I thought it was gonna be that, and you really did it. Like, yeah.
So what was the like most common thing that the women said with you that they thought it was gonna be like?
I don't know, because they never say.
They never said exactly what they thought.
But I can imagine probably the small penis thing.
And then you get there and it's just like, yes, I'm here.
Yeah, for real. Like, all bullshit aside, like, oh.
So what do you think that you're good at sexually? Like the best?
Reading.
Body language?
Body fucking language.
Okay.
I am very responsive to my wife. And like I was saying, I've studied her. I know what gets her to where she wants to be. And I feel like, whether it's, because this days, I don't want head. Give me that dick. Cheeks clap. Yes, ma'am.
So can she just like come to you and be like, babe, this is what I want tonight, and I expect you to do it?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
So do you, is it reciprocated?
We call it take it for the team.
Oh, okay.
She would take one for the team. I'll take one for the team, because this days I've been working all day, and I know she's horny.
And you just gotta figure that shit out.
I gotta figure that shit out, because that's my responsibility as her man, to figure that shit out. And vice versa.
See, that's a good tip. It's your responsibility to figure it out.
But for sure.
Yeah, because most people be like, man, listen, you're horny. You need to go figure that shit out. I'm tired. I'm going to sleep.
Nah. Especially when you have a healthy physical relationship, you expect that ass. She expects that dick.
Pretty much, yeah.
And that's okay. That is okay. There is nothing wrong with expecting your mate to satisfy your physical needs, because it's a part of that. It's a part of it.
Has she ever gotten mad that she couldn't get it?
Mad, no. Disappointed, yes.
Okay.
And vice versa.
So do you guys like act a certain way, or is there like an apology, like, oh, okay, I was sorry, I was sleepy last night, I apologize, I couldn't fuck you, but
because we're in it. It's next day. All right, we're gonna try this shit again today.
All right, day 2. Now we're back at it.
We're back at it.
All right, so we're gonna play a game.
Let's play.
It's rank your sex, right?
Okay.
All right, so which one is the top tier? Vaginal sex, oral sex, or anal sex?
Top tier.
Yep. You got to put them in order from best to least greatest.
But see, you're dealing with different spectrums, because each woman is different. I've rocked chicks' world with my tongue versus the dick, and vice versa.
So you think your oral sex is?
It depends on the woman. My wife, I would be hard pressed to say, because I've seen her act a donkey on both. When I push that button with my penis, I've seen her do like I'm King Dingaling.
So which one is it though? You gotta pick it.
Man.
Vaginal,
I would say oral with my wife gets her there quicker and more intense.
Okay.
The dick, then anal is just not even on the list because she
very vanilla.
Very vanilla, okay. and that's okay.
So oral's 1, vaginal's 2, and anal is just not even on.
Not with her. No, not at all.
All right. The next one is: would you prefer good head for 5 minutes? Well, no. Would you prefer good head or 5 minutes of great sex?
That is actually a great question. I'm gonna say sex.
So, tell me what is your great sex? Because 5 minutes of great sex. So, 5 minutes in the sex room is kind of long when you sit there and actually think about it. Versus,
absolutely not.
It's not.
Fuck no,
man. 5 minutes of quiet sex is just
But see, me and my wife, we have an intimacy to where sex is just a part of it.
Okay.
Because when I'm inside of her, it's more than just a nut. That's what them other chicks do. That's what I do when I jack off. You know what I mean? There's an energy transfer that's going on.
So you over here making love, making all sorts of connections.
That's my wife. You fucking right. Yes, I am.
We're not 5 minutes of good sex.
We're not, man. 5 minutes of with her, man. Let me get that.
Versus the good head.
Because like I said, that there's nothing that compares to that natural energy transfer that takes place between a man and a woman.
So can you make your wife nut in under 5 minutes?
For sure.
And she can make you nut in under 5?
No.
Not at all. So how long does it really take you to come then? Did she ever really have to put in work here?
I get, like I told you, I get off when she gets off.
So as long as she gets off.
So it's hard pressed for her to get me off. She's done it and can do it, but it's not something I look for. It's not something she achieves to do. But
it's just once in a blue moon.
I'm not even gonna say that when it happens, it happens. But the regular vanilla, I'm trying to see her get off, and then I'm gonna get off soon thereafter. I promise you that.
See, I don't even need a nut. I just like the feeling of it. I don't have to come.
And I've heard you say that before, but to me, that's selfish on both on 2 planes. Because 1, that's the natural consequence of sex, is the orgasm.
Right.
And for a man to bring you there says something. And for you to get there says something.
Well, I don't feel like I should put all of the pressure on the guy to make me.
There you go again, being selfish.
Because I don't necessarily need it.
It's not about a necessity.
I know, but I'm not about to just do it just to do it. Because sometimes I feel like if I just keep those energies to myself, then I can get more accomplished versus.
I want you to hear what you're saying and really think about what you're saying.
I hear
That's
what I'm
saying I like to eat, but I don't give a damn about getting full. There's a natural consequence to eating.
I know, but I don't need that though. Why do I need it?
It's natural.
I know that it's
supposed natural. To happen.
It's supposed to happen, yes, but it's not.
You just said but.
But yes, because I don't need it.
It's not about a need.
You just want it to happen.
It's going to happen.
Eventually, if I let it.
Why would you?
Because I don't want to.
Why?
Because it just gives me so much more energy if I just keep it.
That's weird.
It's not weird. I'm not swinging a pendulum in the corner weird.
But it's spectrums to the weirdness. To have sex and not want to have an orgasm, to me, is selfish because 1, you're depriving yourself of a natural outcome, and 2, you're depriving his ego. You're not going to stroke his ego.
I'm not about to stroke nobody's ego like that.
Listen to me. There is nothing more satisfying to a man than to know that.
Is it my man or is this just some random person? Because if it's just a person and I'm just fucking, I can give a fuck about their ego,
and that's fair.
Yeah, but that's usually how it is. So I'm in a relationship, it's completely different. But just me out having sex with people I want to have sex with, I'm not looking for that. My thing is I like to please people. So when I'm having sex, as long as you come, I'm pretty much good because I don't really want it and don't need it. Now, I do have my moments where it's just all right, nigga, I want a nut. You need to make me nut. But then I have other moments where it's just I just like how it feels.
To me, from this listening to what you're saying, this listening to you, it sounds like you've been depraved of intimacy and you've become complacent with not getting there. Because if I please you, I'm good.
I agree. I'll agree with you on that.
I mean, just like
you're 100% right. I can't even argue with you on that one.
And once you get used to somebody making sure you're straight, you desire. My wife does that for me because when we're intimate, whether she feels like it or not, she's gonna make sure 9 times out of 10 that I'm straight. And to me, that healthy sexual relationship is worth it and worthwhile, and I don't mind her.
Yeah, see, I don't think I found that person yet.
And that's sad. And I feel sad for all single people. I'm gonna say that. I feel sad for people in the dating pool in this day and age because y'all have rough.
It's fucking horrible.
Oh my God.
It's horrible.
The things I see, the stories I hear, it's to the point where
I don't mind being single. The dating portion is what pisses me off. Like, I'm cool being single, but then when I want like companionship and I want like my person per se, and I gotta go back and start dating, it's just like, dude, like,
it's hard.
Can you just like give me a nigga that just wants to get married and we just go get married and figure this shit out later? Because I just don't like the dating portion of it.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. When you speak on levels like that, you bring to mind Kevin Samuels. And I only say that because the guys that are just like you described could be considered high value men. A man that wants to get married, settle down, a good man, he's a high value man to a woman like you. Not like you, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They get snatched up. I'm talking about bad.
Quick.
Real quick. And they leave you with, you know.
I mean, I've had some men in my past that I could have married and I chose not to just because I didn't want them. Like, I felt like I would walk over them. It's like I've been proposed to 7 times and I've only been married once. And most of them I just like cut off when it came like closer to the wedding. So I just didn't go that route with
them. Do you feel like you have a commitment issue?
No, I don't think I have a commitment issue. I just felt like those men were not going to make me a better version of myself. I feel like I would have been stagnant or just like stayed where they were at on their level. And then there was one guy, like, I felt like he was just trying to buy me to a degree. Like, he just felt like money can solve everything. And it was nice, but like, you're not giving me what I really want.
And what is it that you really want?
I wanted at that time was quality time and more affection. And
I'm talking about now.
Now, I want the same thing. Like, now I'm like more of a family person now. So now I want like the big family. I want to do family photos,
house
the big
in the
house.
With the dogs in the
dogs.
Going woof, woof.
13 of my fucking dogs.
Shout out to Outcast.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So I'm more so, I want to be very submissive. I want to cook my person breakfast, dinner, clean the house, like kind of be like this whole housewife person now. So that's kind of the phase that I'm in right now. Versus before, it was just like, I ain't cooking, I'm making no nothing. He ain't my husband. He ain't getting the dish. So completely has changed over the past year.
And it's fair. It's fair because that's what you like, that's what you want, that's what you desire. You have to manifest it, and you can.
Yeah, I just manifest ain't shit niggas a lot.
I mean,
I think I need to tweak the language of my manifestation or something.
I don't know. Sometimes it's staring you right in the face and you ignore it.
Why would you say that?
Because it's the truth.
Oh, I feel like you're 100% right.
I am. I am.
You are?
I am.
How often are you wrong?
And you know what? I don't want to sound conceited. And my wife, she hates talking to me. You're always right. She says that to me all the time. That's a real sore spot in our relationship if we were to have that conversation. Because I'm not going to say I'm always right, but if I observe something, I'm going to use deductive reasoning to find the logical outcome of it. You know, if a kid is running in a highway, there's a high probability that kid is going to get hit by traffic. And that's how I see a lot of situations. Okay, this is what's happening. This is what's probably going to happen. This is what happened. I'm not going to say that I'm always right, but like I try to use deductive reasoning with the situation.
Because we don't look at it that way. We don't looked at it 12 different ways. That's never going to even happen.
For instance, when you paid dude that $5,000 to hit, I saw that. I I watched the podcast.
Yeah.
It was entertaining.
I mean, that wasn't like my best moment in life, but I mean, it happened.
It happened.
Yeah.
And why did it happen?
Because I wanted what I wanted.
And you had what it took. You had what it took to
I
get
mean,
it.
I can do it.
It happened to take just 5K.
I mean, if I didn't have the 5K, I would have never got what I wanted. And
I disagree.
Really?
I disagree.
So you think I just blew 5K and I could have just got it?
You're for sure.
I probably have. I blew so much money,
for
honestly.
sure.
So I was having this conversation the other day, and I was trying to figure out if I was a sugar mama or if I'm a trick, and I don't know which one I am.
Based on
the stories you've heard on the podcast.
Based on the stories I've heard on the podcast, I would say you're a mixture of both.
I'm a mixture of both?
For sure.
So what would that be, though? It has to have a name.
Sugar trick.
I'm a sugar trick? That sounds horrible.
I mean,
I'm a sugar trick.
However, you still have a youthful appearance.
Mm-hmm.
You still you're not at the cougar stage.
Nah, I don't think I'm a cougar.
Nah. Yeah,
a sugar trick.
Sugar
okay,
trick.
I wasn't thinking about a sugar trick, but okay, I'll take that. I mean,
sugar trick.
I feel like that's a new thing. I could be a sugar trick because I mean, between the motorcycle, the 5K, and buying men cars and shit like that, I feel like at this point,
and it ain't tricking if you got it.
That's how I look at it, though.
It ain't tricking.
I feel like if it wasn't this person, it'd probably been somebody else.
I tell you no lie, I cannot wait for my business to take off like I wanted to, so I can spoil my wife. My God.
See, you have that one person to spoil. I would be cool spoiling my person, but it's just I'm spoiling multiple people now. That's just taking the gifts and going. So I just prefer, like, if I could have one person that I could spoil, I think I'll be okay with that.
As you should. However, for a woman to be spoiling multiple men, in my view, is outside of the normal.
Really?
Oh, for sure.
Well, I was told that like a woman just spoiling one man is like kind of unheard of nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah.
Okay.
But there's levels to it. For me, my woman financially spoiling me is not going to get me off versus her cooking for me.
Okay, I can see that.
Clipping my toenails. Something
that you don't have to do yourself.
Something I don't have to do myself.
That's kind that she thought of, like, let me take this off of his plate.
I cook 80% of the time.
Do all big niggas cook?
I think all niggas cook.
I don't know about that.
But I like to eat, and then I was a cook in prison.
Okay.
So I had to learn to like it, and I do like it. I like to see the enjoyment on her face when I whip up something, and she's like, "Oh my God, this was so good." I get off on that.
You heard a little happy food dance.
Yeah. And I like it because, again, my end goal was not to be a whoremonger in the streets, but was to find my person, and I did. And I am so lucky, so blessed. Shout out to Londa.
Oh, man, look at here. She get the shout outs and all.
I'm telling you, when you find that one, man, there's nothing like it, man. I highly suggest, if you got that person, treat them right. If you haven't found them yet, keep looking, because, geez, I could not imagine my life without her. There's no other woman that could replace her.
That's big shoes right there.
I'm talking about money and all. Keep your money. It look good, it sound good, but man, Londa where it's at. My wife is where it's at. For sure.
All right, so the next one is called "Would You Eat Ass?"
All right.
Wait, so I'm gonna give you.
Hold on, pause right there. I got you. I want you to pull up a diagram of the vagina, the clit, the vagina, and the anus. If you are successfully eating pussy, there is no way you're not eating ass.
I agree. 100% agree. Okay, so now that we know that you eat ass, would you eat? Would you eat Michelle Obama's ass?
What?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Why not?
Because it's not my wife.
Oh my goodness. So no one can get it but your wife.
For sure. So
the other ones, it might as well not even ask.
Now, Londa, can I play the game? Thank you. She said I can play the game.
Okay.
Can play the game. Yes.
Yes, okay.
From the back.
Okay. Nicki Minaj.
From the back.
Beyonce.
From the back.
Oprah.
From the back.
Gayle King.
From the back.
Jennifer Lopez.
From the back.
Gosh. I don't even know what's on the name. It's just all from the back. So we're just gonna say you eat ass from the back. For sure. Okay. All right.
Woo! From
See?
the front.
From the front. That's horrible. You always come out with left field with your shit. What is the top 3 physical features on a woman that you like the most?
Eyes. I'm gonna say voice because you have to have a vibrating throat box to make a sound.
Vibrating throat box. Okay.
So, voice and toes.
Toes. Is there a toe person?
Real bad.
All right. So, what do you like about toes?
In my mind, I guess I've always been a toe person because my mom used to say I used to play with people's feet. Not churn, but
was it churn feet?
When I was a kid, when I was a churn.
Well, you were in churn. Okay.
I used to play with feet, but it became something intimate when I was we was in prison talking. And the fellas was like, "Man, I'm talking about, I can't wait to have big toes right next to me, wiggling," and I had the visual. I'm like, you know what? I can't wait to have some toes wiggling next to my face too. And ever since then, them toes be wiggling because it's hard body language. It's hard for a woman's toes not to show body language.
Oh, this is interesting. Okay.
So when she's coming or when she's enjoying herself, her toes are steadily, and then when she catch that nut, that big toe curve.
Now the next time I have sex, I'm gonna be paying attention to my fucking toes.
And then, like I say, I'm missionary. I'm sucking on her toes. I can feel them wiggling in my mouth, and that shit turns on.
So it's the body language with the toes that is more of a turn on versus just like toes in general.
Oh, they got to look like something now.
I'm about to say because like you sucking on hammer toes.
No,
like...
fuck no. and I understood Eddie Murphy and Boomerang. Yeah. Oh man. You come out looking like you got some Warhawk talons. We got issues and problems.
Does it have to be a certain color?
I prefer French manicure.
Okay,
because it looks nice. Basic, simple, nice, clean looking, and I just find it classy and sexy.
So, do you get like random like feet pics from your wife and toe pics from your wife?
No, it's not that serious.
Oh, I thought she would like
stick in my mouth when we having sex.
That's it. Just suck on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she don't ask for it.
Oh, you just put it in there.
Oh yeah.
A whole pacifier for a foot.
Facts.
What is your best sexual experience?
My wife, and I keep going back to her because, like I said, we had that connection. We have a top 5 we constantly remark on. Like if this sexual episode made the top 5, we'll say, baby, this one is in the top 5.
So after you talk about it, after you have sex, if it's like a good session, do you guys be like, okay, we got to put this in the top 5?
4, yeah, because there's that camaraderie that's associated with our relationship. So, and best sexual experience I've ever had was with her, and I think we came at the same time. She squirted on me. I had this explosive orgasm that hadn't happened since I was a young man. With her.
That was your best.
Yeah, with her.
Okay.
Sure. She's the one.
So do you have any questions for me?
Yeah.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, I do.
Me. Okay.
Murder, Marry, or Fuck.
Okay.
John edition. Flavor Flav. Franklin Saint, the crackhead. Or
not give you good choices.
Let's see. Old Dirty Bastard.
I knew you were gonna say that. And the thing about it is, I always had a thing for him. Like for some reason, like he was weird and like unattractive, but very attractive. And like I totally would be someone I would marry, honestly. So
really?
Yeah.
You would marry Old Dirty Bastard?
I really would, yes.
Okay.
So that would be my marry. I would fuck. I would fuck Flavor Flav. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my answer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have no judgment.
No judgment. Okay.
No, none at all. And that's the thing. I don't understand people who judge people about their experiences, because that's what makes a person who they are. You would not be who you are if it wasn't for your experiences.
This is very true. And I've had plenty of good experiences that I got to make a book about, because are missing a lot of good parts.
You should do that.
I am. Everyone says write a book this year. I
would read it. I would definitely read it, because this is I feel like I know you just from watching your podcast, and that's not fair. I would definitely read your book.
Okay, so now I gotta write a book. So I'm definitely gonna do it.
I would definitely read your book.
All right, so that has been the end of our episode. So where can everyone find you at on social media?
Skyflightllc.com is the website. I'm a drone operator professional. Oh yeah. Part 107 certified.
Oh, okay.
I had to study for that hard.
That sounds like it. It sounds like some technical stuff.
It is. All your aerial videographer needs, get at me. Yeah, John McClure. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, John McClure 4. That's me.
You can follow the podcast page at Cum'n to Conclusions, and you can go to the website at www.cum'ntoconclusions.com.